Think I'm live. Think. Am I? Excellent connection. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted. Transition. I'm back. Here we go. I'm back, baby. I think I'm back. Your channel. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I'm back. I'm back in black, baby. Are we live? Just making sure. Just making sure. I think I am. Stream offline. What are you talking about? Yep. Nah, there we go. We good. All right, I'm back. It's your boy. And your girl is a little boy down here. Look. Say hi, Rosie. Say hi. Hello. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. You can go back down there now. Go on. You go. Sit there. You can be my little streaming pup. Wish I could take you back to Wellington with me. Anyway, hello, g'day. It's good to be back with some more dumb tweets. There's a couple of things. First of all, I've appealed my Twitter ban again. Saying something like, I was under the impression that Twitter was a place of that valued free speech. So I was just expressing my right to free speech using this meme. So it seems weird to me that I would have my account permanently suspended for simply expressing my right to free speech. So we'll see how that goes. I didn't actually mention transphobia or anything this time, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'll keep appealing. Hopefully, I really do want to get my Twitter account back. I know it's dumb, and people are like, "Oh, Twitter's falling," is falling to shit. But like, I had a good little following. It's a little disheartening. Uh, but in the meantime, back here, back doing some dumb tweets on the old YouTubes. And what better way to start a video about dumb tweets than by talking about a news article? News article. um, I just found this. This is absolutely fantastic. So here we go. Ron DeSantis. Disney sues Florida government. Ron DeSantis claiming government retaliation. So Ron DeSantis has been going after Disney for a while now for opposing his "Don't Say Gay" bill, which is a bill or a law now in Florida which prohibits teachers. I think it's just teachers from discussing sexual orientation within the classroom, which is like I don't even know where to start with it. Like it's so weird to me that like if your like sexuality or gender or masculinity or whatever is so fragile that just the mention of gays or LGBTQ people turns you gay. I'm afraid you might have been gay all along, my dude. Like it's just endlessly bizarre to me that I mean it's like I was saying yesterday about the rainbows thing. Like you see a rainbow and suddenly, oh my god, and your skin melts away, and from inside the skin emerges this chest burster of a flamboyant drag queen. That's what these people are afraid of for some reason. You can't. It's the woke mind virus. Simply the mention of LGBTQ stuff is gonna indoctrinate your children and turn them into flamboyant queens. Which, let's be honest, I think that'd be fucking dope. If suddenly just all the kids were gays. Wouldn't that be fantastic? And I know that someone would be like, oh, you're gonna try to turn all the children gay. It doesn't work that way, but I mean, wouldn't the world be such a better place if everyone was like Twink from fucking Q Force? Oh, jeez. Anyway, beside the point. Ron DeSantis is getting sued by Disney for for using his position in the government basically to violate Disney's free speech. Now, I'm all for taking down Disney. Disney is a big, massive corporation that earns billions and billions and billions of dollars and hoards fucking copyrights like a giant dragon on a pile of money, and stifles creativity, stifles creativity, and all that sort of stuff by throwing their weight around the place. It's fucked up. It's capitalist nonsense, and I think that it should be broken up and all that sort of stuff. That's not the critique that Ron DeSantis has. Ron DeSantis is upset because Disney opposes his homophobic nonsense. I would read this. I read it before, and it's not really not really that interesting. But basically, it's saying that DeSantis has been in this ongoing feud with Disney, which apparently not a lot of people are really that supportive of. It's just him and his big giant ego trying to, thinking that people actually care about about his war with Disney because they oppose his homophobia. It's very funny to me. So insert meme of "let them fight" right here because I'm all for it. It's endlessly funny to me that this is the case. DeSantis is just, oh my god, I just can't, I don't understand this man. Meatball Ron. Actually, I made a meme. Oh, do I still have it on here? Did I put it somewhere else? Meatball Ron. Did I do it on here? Yeah, here it is. Hold on, give me a second. I'm just gonna change the thing to Meatball Ron. Here we go. Wait, where is it? Come on, show me the, show it. Show the Meatball Ron. Meatball Ron. Come back. Okay, hold on. Maybe I just need to, hold on, if I add, just like display capture. Yeah, this. Okay, hold on, and then I put this up. Meatball Ron. I think that's working. It says display capture, so I'm not sure. It's a bit of a delay on the thing. Or someone. I made this because because I saw one of the Gays Against Groomers people. They put up this picture of their like a T-shirt that had Ron DeSantis on it, and it was like a support Ron DeSantis thing. And so I made this. That's right. I got this picture and popped it on the T-shirt instead of Meatball Ron, and sent it back to them. Which I think is hilarious because I'm a moron. Anyway, so let's just cancel that. We don't need display capture anymore. Hopefully that worked. I don't know if it did or not. Anyway, back to the actual point of the conversation. Meatball Ron. Anyway, next on the list is Mr. Steven Crowder. Hello, Goat Lucci. Lurk all you like. I'm here for some lurking business. Let's see. Steven Crowder, divorced, single, sad dad. Think his wife might be getting custody. That's right. I was thinking about this because it very much makes me think of Gary Lydham, who has spent all of his time, like he spent all of his time online hating trans people so much that his wife left him. It took his kids, and so now he's just a lonely, sad man who's on the internet yelling at trans people, and he was allowed back on Twitter because he was banned, but then Elon came and allowed him onto Twitter, and so that happened, and then so now he just sits on Twitter all the time and gets angry at trans people. So it seems like Steven Crowder is heading this way as well. His wife left him because he's a sad, angry man who just gets angry at trans people. But the thing is that I was yesterday. I found these tweets. Someone linked them on some subreddit. Tweets from Steven's ex-wife's sister, talking about how much of a narcissistic, controlling, abusive freak he is. And I had these tweets and I was going to talk about them, but then the account got deleted. but I found some others that are similar to that, sort of talking about what he was up to. So this is the first one here. iPad expert says, "Lol, Steven Crowder got elective surgery to overshadow the birth of his twins because he couldn't stand them having the attention." Father of the century. So what this is referring to is when Steven Crowder's now ex-wife was giving birth to their twins, he got this surgery, and I remember it happening. She probably did. His wife was probably at home, like tuned into the Crowder show and was like, "The fuck is this shit?" To be fair, though, because of all the stuff that's come out of how much of an abusive home person he was at home as well, I doubt that she was unaware of how much of a piece of shit he is. Beside the point. He got this elective surgery. So I remember because at the time he was tweeting about how he's going into hospital because he's getting heart, like life-saving surgery on his heart, blah 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 blah. And it was woe was me. I'm getting this so that I can continue to live my life because it's so hard to be me, Steven Crowder. Turns out the surgery wasn't actually for life-threatening stuff. It was just an elective surgery that he got to like restructure his chest or something to make him look more manly, which is hilarious. And someone commented under here saying, "Lol, he." Oh, he didn't say lol, but they said he got gender-affirming care, which is so true. Steven Crowder got gender-affirming care. Lol. And so, but he did this at a time when his wife was giving birth to his child, so that exactly, so they wouldn't take the attention away from him. He pretended that he was, he was about to die or something like that, so that he would get all of the attentions. And then someone under here says that he insisted that his wife get an Uber to get groceries, so that if he decided that he wanted to go to the gym, that he could use the car, which is just like, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious? Yeah, no. Go get you get an Uber because I might need to go to the gym later. So I'll need the car. Prick, absolute prick. And so here, this next tweet from Mr. Will Sommer here, tweeting out a video of Stephen berating his ex-wife when she was pregnant, telling her to fucking go and do a bunch of chores while he sits around and smokes cigars. Okay, so hold on, let's watch this video real quick.
Stephen, no, we are having attacks, okay? I love you, but Stephen, you're he's sick.
Watch it. Watch it. Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need. And I need some space. We need to just talk about
No respect. He said, then we're gonna
My God.
Okay?
So that's repeating again, but like, watch it. You watch it. Just watch it, woman. Ooh, don't you step out of line. Look, he is smoking a fucking cigar. Look at him. Like a wanker. And she's standing, look up, and she's super pregnant. And he's just being an absolute piece of shit. Jesus Christ. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Allegations in the Steven Crowder story are wild. Crowder purportedly left his wife, then pregnant with twins, to get an elective surgery. So he wasn't there for the fucking birth. Oh my God. So, I mean, I said this yesterday. I was saying, fucking shock horror that this guy, whose whole persona on the internet is built around being an absolute hateful, bigoted piece of shit, was also an abusive narcissist at home. And so this woman who's the sister of Stephen's ex-wife, was tweeting about how much of a narcissist he is, how much like he made them sign NDAs and stuff so they couldn't talk about this stuff so as to not tarnish his reputation. It's very sparkling, clean reputation. Oh my God. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. And it also makes me think about the other right-wing pieces of shit who are very publicly online, like Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and all these people who are married, have these wives at home, who it seems to me that they would also be something like this. Like if they are this kind of, they've got this public persona which is awful, which is just based on hatred and bigotry and all that sort of stuff. And then they go home and they're just like, oh, I'm such a loving, caring person. Yeah, I don't think so. And that so I wonder how long it's going to be before Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro announces their divorce from their wives. Who knows? Might happen. It seems likely to me. Seems likely. I don't see how you can be such an awful person on the internet and then just turn it off and be not that when you're at home with your significant other. So yeah, there we go. So that's Stephen Crowder. Here we go, Mr. B. Speaking of the devil, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro complains about Lesbian Visibility Week. Is there like a week in the calendar left for heterosexual people? Let's have a listen to this.
The good news is that he really has his head screwed on. I wouldn't say he had his head screwed on straight in this particular context. He has his head screwed on properly when it comes to the social issues, which is why Karine Jean-Pierre was celebrating the thing that matters most, Lesbian Visibility Week. I have a question. Is there a week in the calendar that is not some form of LGBTQIA plus minus divided by sign, happy face sign, sad face emoji, tilde, hashtag, carrot, week? Is there like a week in the calendar left for, heterosexual people? Because I gotta say, I'm wondering. Here we were at the White House yesterday with Karine Jean-Pierre celebrating Lesbian Visibility Week, as opposed to the other 51 weeks of the year, which I guess are Lesbian Invisibility Week, which is, I think troubling. Do we have a spate of crime from the invisible lesbians? No one knows.
My God, these fucking people. I just, why do we need a Lesbian Visibility Week? Why do we need a Black History Month? Where's White History Month? Where's Man Day? When, we've got International Women's Day, so why don't we have an International Man's Day? Every fucking day is International Man's Day. Every fucking week is International Heterosexual Week. Absolute fucking weirdos. First of all, this whole, I don't know if they think it's funny or if they're trying to, or if it's just meant to be mocking or whatever, but this whole LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign, carrot emoji, it's fucking divided by, it's just is it meant to be funny? Because if it's meant to be funny, it's not very funny. But if it's meant to be funny, then I probably shouldn't try and critique what the fuck you're trying to say or figure out what you're trying to say. But if it's not meant to be funny, if it's actually supposed to be a legitimate critique of the LGBTQ community, then it's stupid. The whole point of the LGBTQ community is that it's a solidarity between all these different groups of people who suffer oppression underneath an oppressive norm. Cis heteronormative, society, fascist, white supremacist society, which sits up here and oppresses all these people underneath it. People of color, indigenous people, gay people, trans people, non-neurodivergent people, all these kinds of people who suffer an oppression underneath this normative society can all share in the solidarity that they get from grouping together and pushing back against that oppression. So having an acronym, obviously, people add to the acronym. You add more, letters to this acronym because you want to represent more people within this coalition of people pushing back against this oppression. I mean, that's the point of the whole thing. But people like Ben don't understand that. And for some reason, they find it ridiculous that you would continue to add people or letters to the acronym or something like that, because more letters is bad or something. I don't know. That's what I mean about if it's supposed to be just a flippant joke, then great, okay, it's a dumb joke and it doesn't make any sense and it's not funny. But if I try and drill into it and critique the thing down to its core, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just nonsense. It's why do you care if there's more letters in this acronym? It shows that you don't understand the point, or one of the points of the community, or the thing that you're fighting against. You don't understand it. But yeah. Anyway, so that's so Ben's upset that there's a lesbian visibility week. And then his big joke is that have there been lesbians, like invisible lesbians, running around stealing things? Just like, oh my god, the failed actor pipeline. These people are so desperate to be like funny and relatable as well. I mean, because there's two things in there. You know, he's got those two jokes. He's got the LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign thing, and then the lesbian invisibility week, which on the face of it is funny because it's like lol, but it's literally just like what's the word missing the point on purpose. Bad faith argument. That's the thing. So no, Ben. You know, there needs to be a lesbian visibility week because you know, they every other week of the year is heterosexual visibility week. Also, it's funny. Well, it's not funny. But it's telling that you've got. You know, like I've talked before about these, you know, these gays against groomers groups, the ones that are like, you know, chopping off the LGB minus the T, the chopping the scissors, chopping the T, getting the trans people out of the movement. These people who are like, we're gay and we don't want to be associated with trans people, and it's all just a grift to appease these fascist pieces of shit. And this is just another example of how people like Ben Shapiro, the fucking fascists who are trying to maintain this normative, heterosexual, white, cisgendered society, maintain that norm. These people also hate gay people. So you're trying to extricate trans people from your movement. Even though they existed in the movement the whole time, or were fighting for rights alongside gay people for the whole time. You're doing that to try and appease these fascists is not going to work because they hate gay people too. I mean, the mere mention of a lesbian fucking visibility week just sends Ben into a spiral of nonsense fucking bullshit. So there you go. Ben, see, here we go. Ben, nearly every other week in this effing year, is straight, straight week. I saw now. What did I see that was really? I can't remember where it was, but someone was talking about how when you people getting upset about the inclusion of other people, other diverse identities within media and things like that upsets straight white people. And they flip that around and they say, can you imagine that the rest of human history has been that for people of those diverse identities, that they haven't, that the only people being represented in media have been straight, white, cisgendered people. And for everyone who is not that identity, for the entirety of human history, has seen that media and felt the thing that you are feeling now because you are seeing a brown person or a gay person or a lesbian person in this piece of media. So the same thing here, that Ben is, the feeling that he is having right now of seeing Lesbian Visibility Week and getting upset that it's an affront to him or whatever. That feeling or that or whatever is the way that it's been for lesbian people for the entirety of human history. So, but they can't think about this because self-reflection is not a strong suit for anyone. Anyway, I spent way too much time on this fucking lesbian invisibility nonsense. Next thing. So I tweeted, this is a thing that I for full disclosure, this is a thing that I put on Reddit that I thought was quite funny, but I'm pretty sure, I guarantee that fucking Ollie London probably tweeted about this. And a bunch of other transphobes probably tweeted about this, complaining about the fact that this trans person has, beat a whole bunch of cis women in sports. So I have a lot of opinions about about trans people in sports and about cis women in sports and about sports in general. My first gut reaction is that everyone who complains about trans women in sports has not given the first single shit about sports up until this point. Like, they have never talked about sports. They've never talked about fairness in sports. They've never talked about abuse in sports. Like, the people that are complaining is saying that women, that real women aren't safe in the locker rooms and all that sort of stuff, have never mentioned, like, men, like cisgendered men, coaches or whatever, abusing cisgendered women up until this point. They have had no interest in any of that stuff. Trans person comes into the sports, we got to save the women. We're gotta protect the women from the transes. So that's the first thing. These people don't give a shit about the sports. They want to just shit on trans people. Oh no, there's a trans woman curling. The trans women are dominating the curling profession. We've got to save curling from trans people. So that's the first thing that I think about. The second thing that I think about is that I think you get these cisgender women who get beaten in sports by trans women, and then they complain that the place, the thing that they were entitled to, it was theirs. That they were meant to win the prize. They were meant to get the thing, the accolades and the gold trophy and the pats on the back from the people. That was theirs. They, as a cisgendered woman, were entitled to that. But this trans person came along and stole it from them, and it's just, it's the worst thing that could happen to a person. So, A, the entitlement of cis woman. B, just get better at the sport. Well, if you lost to a cisgender woman, would you be complaining about this? That they have a biological advantage? Like, people were bringing up the fact that, if you look at someone like Michael Phelps, who is the most ridiculous biological freak of all time when it comes to swimming. He's like perfectly, he experiences like half the lactic acid of any like quote unquote normal person in swimming and stuff, so he can just like go forever and ever. So, but that is celebrated as a well, he's amazing. But imagine Michael Phelps transitions and competes as a woman. All hell would break loose. And it also just reminds me of that. There was that one cisgender woman who lost skateboarding to a trans person, as if being trans automatically makes you better at skateboarding. But she also lost to like an 8-year-old girl. So cisgendered women, get better at the sports that you're complaining that trans people are dominating, even though there's only like 5 trans people who are dominating at sports or something. And then also there's so much, like I say, I have so much to say about this. Cisgender women get better at sports. But then also, what are you complaining about? Like you compete in sports as a cisgender woman, you lose to a trans person, and now you're like famous in right-wing circles. You're on Tucker Carlson, which isn't a thing anymore. You're on Dave Rubin's show. You're on Tim Pool's show. You're doing university tours and all this sort of stuff, talking about how fucking trans women are destroying sports, and we need to protect sports from the transes. Yeah, So all you need to do is be bad at sports. So don't get better at sports, cis woman. Be bad at sports, lose to a trans person, and then your life is set. You're automatically raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars in fucking easy money from right-wing rubes who like being told that trans people are bad. So what are you complaining about? That's all you need to do. It's an easy grift. Easy grift. I wish that I was a cis woman so that I could lose to a trans person and then complain and reaffirm the hatred of trans people by these trans types. Anyway, haven't even got to talking about this thing that I've got on the screen right here. So it looks bad. What doesn't look bad? It just, I mean, the framing of this article is hilarious because they say trans runner beat 14K woman in London Marathon after running NYC as a man. So what they're saying here is that this trans woman, who is transitioned late in life, it seems. I believe I read in the article that they are spending quite a bit of money on doing, operations and things like that. So that, it's not that they haven't just decided to be trans so that they can win at running, which is another ridiculous thing. Like, these people seem to think that like some trans people are just upending their entire life, what's the word? Not submitting. They're upending their entire life and submitting. No, it's not the word. What's the word? To bigotry. They're. My brain's not working. I mean, it was, because I just rambled for about 15 minutes just then. But they're going to be subjecting. I did it. Fucking did it. Subjecting themselves to hatred, discrimination, bigotry, all these sorts of things. They are specifically choosing to subject themselves to that very, very difficult life, especially in this current climate, just so that they can win at sports. Like, some people actually believe this shit. Like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, why? How? James Stephanie Sterling talks about this a lot, about how people, people often comment within their. No, I figured it out, Ronan. It wasn't transitioning; it was subjecting, not submitting. Subjecting. Talks about, like, people will leave comments on their thing saying, "Oh, you just transitioned for attention," and they're like, "Yeah, I subjected myself to all this ridicule and loss of income because it ruined the people in my audience took a big old dive and all that sort of stuff just so that I could get attention." Anyway, back to the thing I was talking about. My God, my brain. I think I've had 2 coffees this morning, so. Trans runner beat 14K woman in a London Marathon. So what they're saying is that a trans person, this person used to be a man. I don't believe that's the case. I believe that they were always a woman, but was assigned male at birth and did this running as part of the NYC Marathon, as if that matters at all, and now ran the London Marathon and beat 14,000 cis women. They beat, and I mean, okay, they beat 14,000 cis women. I mean, but even if you think about that for 2 seconds, the person below them, the cisgender person that was below them, also beat 14,000 cis women, and I assume that they were a cis woman. But it gets even funnier if we look in the article. They're angry because they're saying that one of the 14,000 women behind me could have been in my place. Really? I did the race in 4 hours and 11 minutes. There's a lot of women who beat me, noted Frank, who came 6,159th place in the female category. So, sure, they beat 14,000 cis women, but they got beaten by 6,000 cis women. So it's not like they dominated the race. And as someone commented on this, there was a lot of comments because I'm very popular. But someone commented saying that a 4-hour marathon is average for a casual runner. Like, professional runners will do it in like 2 hours apparently, but like a casual runner will do it in 4 hours. It's like 10 kilometers an hour, I suppose, because a marathon's like 42 kilometers, right? I think. So it's, running about, which still seems like a lot to me. I wouldn't be able to fucking do that. If you chucked me in the female category, I would be right at the bottom. So I think it's just kind of funny that I don't even think this screenshot might have been from a different article as well. But like this New York, I can't remember the name of the news. It's a tabloid rag. Anyway, just the ridiculously dishonest framing of this title just to fucking pander to transphobes. Trans runner beat 14K woman and run. Yeah, but they lost to 6,000 people. You absolute moron. And all they're saying is that that one other cis woman could have had, instead of coming 14,001th place, they could have come 14,000th place. Why? Who cares? It's all they want to do is hate trans people. They just hate trans people. They just hate trans people. That's all it is, and they're finding any fucking opportunity they can to get upset at trans people. That's that. Anyway, moving on. Next thing. Oh, speaking of transphobes and being beaten by cis people. So this is Jake Shields. Jake Shields is a absolute piece of shit. Blocked me on Twitter, so that's interesting. But I was made aware of Jake by Alana Farrell, I believe is their name. An MMA fighter, MMA trans woman, who's amazing. But I was made aware of Jake because one of his tweets went viral in which he showed like pre-transition and post-transition pictures of Alana. Which is pretty fucked up. But it was saying something along the lines of, oh, you'll never be a woman or something. I don't know. It was nonsense. Anyway, I became aware of Jake in this sense. And so here he is for Turning Point USA. So this is what I mean. This guy, I don't think he was beaten by it, but he's a transphobe and he panders to transphobes. And so he finds himself being promoted by Turning Point USA. I mean, no one would know who this guy is because he's a 5-time world MMA champion. Yeah, you fucking succeeded at, being a violent piece of shit. I mean, fucking, what's his name? Andrew Tate. MMA, must be a good guy. No, sorry, but I tend to think that people who spend their lives beating each other up probably aren't the best people. Anyway, that's completely beside the point. I'm sure many MMA people are lovely people. Some of my best friends are MMA people. Anyway, here he is. So, basically no one would know who he was until he decided to come out as like an anti-trans person. And now everybody knows who he is. I mean, I doubt everybody knows who he is. But anyway, he's being promoted by Turning Point USA. Since trans men are real men, this is Jake Shields talking here. Since trans men are real men, I would like to challenge the 100 toughest trans men in the world to a fight. I'll fight them with no training camp and no rest in between each fight. So Jake is saying that he would beat the shit out of 10 trans men. And that would prove that they're not real men. Like what? Huh? I mean, apparently you can't be a real man. Apparently you can't be a real man. You can't be a real man. Yeah, anti-trans does just become their identity. That's the same thing. Again, it's the same thing with Riley Gaines, with that other anti-trans person, like the skateboarder girl. All these like detransition people and stuff as well, who latch their wagon onto people like Matt Walsh and whatnot. Their whole identity becomes being anti-trans. It's the only reason they're popular, and that's the only reason that anyone listens to anything they have to say, because they are pandering to their anti-trans nonsense. And then you're just that's the only reason anyone knows who you are, because you're a hateful piece of shit. I mean, it's fine, I suppose, if you that's what you want to do, but I don't feel like it's a very fulfilling life. Anyway, Mr. Jake Shields, if you're a real man. Yes, exactly. If you're a real man, come be toxically masculine with me. You can't, can you, man? Exactly. Like, I wasn't aware that being a man involved having to beat the shit out of other people. Like, what? They're like, these are the people that are like, you can't define what a woman is, but they have all these really fucked up, weird ideas about what constitutes someone's gender. Like, first of all, this is a completely socially constructed thing, right? I mean, the idea that a man is someone who can beat up other men, that's a social construction. but they want to talk about how gender is, or gender and sex are the same thing, and sex is a biological thing. So therefore, being a man is a biologically necessitated thing. It's a it's just race science. It's just fucking skull measuring race science nonsense. Anyway, but so they've got these. They don't think that gender is a social construct, but there's they go ahead and say something like this, just showing that they do actually think that it's a social construct. But anyway, so I just thought I would share that. I thought that was kind of funny. I agree with some of the big philosophy, except for the part where the woman's pleasure doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. So that's Mr. Jake Shields again, just showing that okay. That's what I was going to say. These people that say that that their whole like catch-all phrase, that their gotcha phrase is, "What is a woman? You can't define what a woman is." When it's just that it's a bit more complex than you want it to be, and doesn't fit into a little tiny soundbite. But then someone like this comes along and says this sort of shit. They have such weird ideas about what constitute a man and a woman. Like for them, being a woman means you have a vagina and boobs. Which, like, why? Like, I don't understand having such a reductionist view of what it means to be a whatever gender. Like, why is your gender specifically defined by what's between your legs? It's just weird, and doesn't really comport with reality either. Like, you don't go around like the people that say, "Oh, you're not a real man unless you've got a dick between your legs," and it's like, well, when you meet a person for the first time, and they say to you, "Hi, my name's such and such, and my pronouns are he, him," and you go, "Yeah, but can you pull your pants down and show me your dick?" You don't. What do you do? Do you do a little bit of this under? That you don't know. You have no idea what someone's genitals are, what someone's chromosomes are, what someone's gametes are. They talk about all this science shit that they don't give a shit about, because they're like, oh, but also God created the universe. They talk about all the science shit, but they have no way of like testing or confirming that when they meet a person. So it's got no functional application in real life situations. When you meet someone for the first time and they tell you that they're a woman, you can't be like, oh, okay, well, can I get a DNA sample real quick? Can you just spit on this? Can you just spit on this this thing? I'm going to do a DNA test. I'll get back to you in 6 to 10 weeks. And then I'll decide whether you're a woman or not. It's just absolute nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, what is a woman? Absolute dumb shit. Matt Walsh is a fascist. Wanted to end real quick. I appreciate those of you who are hanging out in the chat. It's very nice to see you here. If you don't know who I am and you just stumbled across me, my name's Aslan. It's nice to see you. I've been permanently suspended from Twitter. Had a bit of a decent following, but I am currently in the process of appealing that. Hopefully I can get my account back. But in the meantime, instead of just making fun of right-wing transphobes on Twitter, doing it here on the YouTube reasonably regularly. So if you like, enjoy that. Feel free to follow. That's me. That's what I do. But I wanted to end it with something a little bit more light. I thought that I quite enjoyed this. So here's a video of a kitty, and it's like catching bugs on an iPad. Look at that! Hey, some random cake! Holy shit! It's been such a long time. How's it going, my bro? I was about to leave. I can't leave now that you're here. And now that we're watching a video of a cat, okay, I'll find. Let me find one more thing to talk about, because I appreciate the fact that some random geek is here. Way back, friend. Way back, friend. I wanted to say bro, but I don't like to assume people's genders. So, let me see. something else to talk about. What else can I talk about? What have I reddited lately? Let me. Oh, well, actually, no. Here we go. This is what I wanted. I did want to talk about this thing. So this is kind of similar to my I was talking about the the LGBT without the Q peeps. Love working with work to do. Legit, my favorite thing. I'm studying at the moment, so it's great. Just formulating my thesis, trying to get that plan in order. Anyway, I saw this. Pink Wig cartoon this morning. Swear, bro. Saw this morning, and it accurately describes what I've been trying to say to these LGB without the T motherfuckers this whole time. And my thing is kind of over top. Let me just kind of move this to the side. Can I do that? What if I do this? You want to be able to see the whole thing. Well, now it's just over there. God damn it. Hold on, I'll just move me out of the way. How about that? Move that over there. There we go. We did it. We did a transition. The technical genius. Gender is weird. I agree. It's a whole fucking thing. Anyway, so yeah, this pretty accurately describes the thing I've been trying to explain to the LGB without the T fam for a while. People who, by the way, I think I'm pretty confident that they're not actually gay people. They're just fucking the straight dudes pretend to be gay so that it for some reason gives them some sort of clout or authority in this debate. And it also kind of drives a wedge. It's the it lends the fascist side some credence because now they've got some gays on their side and sort of shoots down the trans. Beside the point. I've been saying for a while now, as I've been arguing with these people, John P, another person that I recognize. Fuck yeah, let's get the band back together. I'm here for it, baby. Thanks for joining. Now I can't leave forever. I've got to stay here the whole time. Yeah. I mean, fascists love their tokens. Candace Owens, Miley Yiannopoulos, Blair White. These people who are their identity, therefore they have some sort of, authority in the thing. Well, I'm a trans person, therefore, and I think that trans people are grooms, so therefore, blah, 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 blah. This was what I was trying to. Of course, I remember you. Jesus Christ, how short do you think my memory is? It's lovely to have you here. One of the things I've said to these LGB without the T people is that one of the important things about the LGBTQ community is the shared, the solidarity and the shared oppression that we face against the oppressor. That solidarity, the bringing together of disparate, or maybe not disparate, identities that all suffer oppression underneath fascism, is important. It's like unions. Unions are good because you have worker solidarity against a powerful business or whatever. You need to have that small little bits of power all conglomerated together to fight the powerful, because the fascists are the powerful ones. The society is structured at the moment around a cis heteronormative white norm, which oppresses all of these other identities. And one of the things that the LGB without the T people say is that they want to have their own fight. They don't they are gay, and that is a sexuality, and that is different from a gender. It's not a gender, not a gender, but not a gender. And that therefore that they have no common ground with trans people, and therefore there's no that they don't want to fight in the same movement or whatever. So they want to go ahead and snip us out. But when you look at something like this explains it pretty well. All of you are degenerates we've got here. We've got Mr. Big Giant fucking, bird thing calling all the LGBTQ people degenerates. Individually, they are small. But then the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers together turned into a big old bird. And then when that's the case, so the fascists become scared because they're getting some pushback. And they say, what do you want us to do together? We're all so different. You should just get those snippy scissors. Snip off the trans. Snip off the thing. So I thought that this little comic perfectly encapsulated my feelings about the whole LGB without the T nonsense. Yeah, they Voltron up, exactly. So yeah, I like that. I think that's really good. And I'm sad that I've not been able to argue more with these LGBT without. It's really hard to say it because I'm so used to saying LGBTQ just like that. I'm gonna bring back my face here. Gonna bring back my big face. There we go. Transition. Yeah, I was arguing with these people a lot and actually getting quite a few awesome ratios on the old Twitter against some of these gays against groomers morons. But then my account got suspended because I upset the transphobes. But I will be fighting. Like I say, fighting back against that. Hopefully, get my account reinstated. If not, I will continue on here to laugh at dumb tweets, baby. I don't have any particular schedule at the moment. I'm just going to be coming on here when I can. But like I said, I've got a better microphone. This isn't the microphone, the camera. Got a better camera for my because I've got a desktop at home back in Wellington that I can use to stream. I also have a nice microphone, so you'll be able to hear me properly rather than this weird, shitty little thing that happens. The problem is I plugged this microphone in, and you can hear the buzzing inside my computer. My laptop is very loud. But yeah, anyway, so that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for hanging out in the comments. It's very nice to see you. Those that that have known me for a while now, Geek and Jordan. Nice to see you guys. And those of you who stuck around from finding me randomly, I also appreciate it. Tune in next time when I will swallow a dog whole. Say goodbye, Rosie. This is Rosie. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Can you push the stop button? Can you push the stop button? Where's the stop button? Can you push it? Can you push it? Go and push it. There we go. Stop streaming. Stop. You're just gonna go back to bed. Okay.